Hi everyone! So in this video I'm just going to show you a brief series of movements that I like to practice in the morning, first thing, before I start the day. They're very gentle, simple movements that will help to just stimulate the blood circulation in the body, start sort of moving through any tightness or achiness or that kind of stickiness that you might feel when you first wake up in the morning. I like to do these in the morning as well, just because I find it's nice to start the day from a place of the body feeling a little bit more awake, alive, spacious, before I go on to start whatever the rest of my day might involve. So particularly if I know that I'm going to be spending a lot of time sitting down in a chair, at a desk, even driving, starting from that place of spaciousness in the body is a really nice way to feel like you can have more sustainability for the rest of your day. Also, this is a nice thing to do if you want a quick break during the day, to get down out of your chair and just do a simple few movements to help feel into the body again and then get back to whatever it is that you're doing. You don't need anything for this practice other than maybe a cushion to sit on if you're sitting on the ground and you just want a little bit of padding underneath you. But also you can do these sitting in a chair. So if sitting on the floor isn't a good option for you, feel free just to get a chair and do the practice along with me. So I'm just gonna sit myself up on the cushion with the hips quite forwards on the cushion, so that just I'm sitting on the edge of it basically, so my pelvis gets this nice tilt, so that my hips feel a little bit freer. If sitting like I'm sitting with one foot in front of the other isn't available for you or doesn't feel comfortable for you, feel free to take any other option with the legs. So you can have the legs both out in front, slightly bent, one leg bent, one leg straight, both legs out in front straight. It doesn't matter at this point how you're sitting, just making sure that you can feel relatively comfortable sitting upright. If you do find that your knees are a little bit higher up and your pelvis feels a bit tight, your knees feel a little bit tight, then putting something underneath your knees like rolled up blankets or more cushions just so you can support your knees on something is a nice option. So find your comfortable seat, and then we're going to start by just finding our breath and doing a few deep breaths, which I always find is a nice way to calm down my nervous system before I start to move my body. So you don't necessarily need to close your eyes if you don't feel comfortable doing that. You can just lower your gaze down to the ground. But if you do feel that you can, then maybe just close the eyes so that you don't have so many distractions. And then we'll just take a few rounds of a deep breath. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to take a deep inhale through the nose and feel like you're filling up the belly, the chest, and the ribs with breath. And then when you reach the top of your inhale, we're going to open our mouth and sigh the breath out through the mouth nice and long. So I'll do it first so that you can hear and see what it's like, and then we'll do 3 together. So inhaling. And at the end of the exhale, I'm just drawing my navel slightly towards my spine so that I can feel all of the air coming out. So when you're ready, letting your next inhale be nice and long, filling the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And then opening the mouth and sigh your breath out. Nice and long exhale. Inhaling, filling the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And then opening the mouth, sigh the breath out, all the air, drawing the navel towards the spine at the end of the exhale. And let's do one more like this. This time feel free to make your sigh audible if you want to. So inhaling. And now just come back to what feels like a more natural, easy breath. And just see if you can notice any impact from those longer, deeper breaths. Just feel your inhalations and exhalations, the belly rising and falling, the rib cage expanding and then relaxing. Okay, blinking your eyes open, we'll begin to move. We're going to start with some neck movement. So just bring your chin down towards your chest. And to begin with, just take a deep inhale and a deep exhale into that stretch that you can now feel down the back of the neck and across the top of the shoulders. And then moving the head back up through center, take the gaze slowly up towards the ceiling. This time feeling the stretch in the front of the neck, maybe down into the chest and up into the jaw. And then slowly bringing your head back down through center and chin towards chest. Take a couple of breaths there. And then we're going to start to roll the head, so taking the right ear over towards right shoulder so that your head comes on a slight angle with the ear coming towards the shoulder. And again, take a few breaths now into the stretch that you feel down the left side of the neck, maybe into the top of the left shoulder. Maybe just start to tilt the head backwards and forwards. And see if you can feel that into the jawline as well. And then roll the head back down, chin towards chest, and taking the left ear towards the left shoulder. Let your arms be relaxed, hands can be on knees or thighs. Relax the shoulders if they've started to creep up towards your ears as you're doing this. Just let them soften and release down on the back. Breathing there into the stretch across the right side of the neck now. Again, tilting the head so that you bring the chin towards the chest. And then taking it backwards and just noticing where the different areas that you can get into the neck by taking your head forwards and backwards like this. Okay, now we're going to start to roll the head from side to side. Not pausing now, but just continuing in a semicircle from side to side, bringing the chin towards the chest in the middle and then going over to the side. Pay attention to your breath. Is it still steady and deep? If not, how can you try to quiet and stabilize the breath whilst you're taking these movements? And if it means moving the head less, taking a smaller range of motion, then that's fine. Maybe if you've got space, you might feel like you want to take your head all the way around to the back in a big circle and then go in the other direction as well. And then bringing the head back into the center. I'm going to start to get into the shoulders now. So start off by just lifting both shoulders up towards your ears like you're shrugging, and then roll the shoulders backwards and down. So you can feel your shoulder blades come together and down on the back, then bring them forwards and moving them up towards the ears again. And so we'll take a few circles like this, moving the shoulders up, back, and down. And then forwards, up, back, and down. Reverse the direction, so going backwards, up, forwards, and down. Just do a few more in this direction. Something nice to play around with is to start to see if you can find shoulder rolls with one shoulder at a time. So it's almost as if you were taking backstroke in the pool, but you're not moving your arms. You can take your hands away from your knees if this helps you find the sensation of rolling one shoulder blade and then the other around on the upper back, and then again reversing the direction. And it's really important to remember as we progress through these movements that we're not isolating a part of the body. So let the head and the neck move freely here, even though we're focusing on the shoulders now. The head, the neck are all still joined. Okay, releasing that, relax the hands back down to the thighs, just give yourself a little wiggle. And now we're going to start to take the circular movement into the whole of the upper body and the spine. Again, remembering that everything's connected, so the head, the neck, the shoulders are still going to move with us. So start off by inhaling and lifting the chest slightly towards the ceiling. And then as we exhale, we're going to take the chest down towards the right knee, over the middle of the legs, towards the left knee, and then back up towards the ceiling. And I like to inhale with the lift and then exhale as I go round and down. But really, it's more important that you feel like your breath, again, is quite quiet, stable, rather than when you're inhaling and when you're exhaling. So just repeating this movement. And notice what your range of motion is this morning. So if the circles for you are quite small, just moving the chest around, finding that the rib cage can move independently from the pelvis, that's fine. If you feel like you want to take some really big, spacious circles with the body, then feel free. Just notice if you started to tense up at all in the neck or the shoulders and allow them to join in. Okay, we'll reverse the direction now. So going up over the left, through the centre, and then down towards, other way for you actually, isn't it? Yeah, up over the right and then down towards the left. Just going in the opposite direction from however you were last time. So noticing what you can feel here down the sides of the rib cage, the sides of the waist, maybe even down into the hip flexors, the pelvis. And the circles are a really nice way of us being able to find our range of motion and also just start to gently create a little bit more space in the body. Okay, gradually now start to make the circles a little bit smaller until you slowly arrive in stillness, sitting with the spine upright. And we'll just take one last movement. I like to finish off by just bringing my hands down onto the ground in front of me. If that feels a little bit like a stretch on the lower back or the hips, you can put your hands onto a block or some books even to help you just bring the ground up towards you. Your hands can be as close to your legs, your knees as they need to be, but maybe you can start to experiment with walking the hands a little bit further away. And moving the spine from side to side, snaking action through the upper body, again, so that we can allow the lower back the groin, the hips, to find its own space and our own comfortable forward fold. If you are sitting on a chair at this point, you can just put your hands onto your thighs and then slide the hands down towards the knees, maybe down towards the shins, coming into spinal flexion. Maybe you come all the way down onto the forearms. And then just find a moment in stillness wherever you are. Take some deep breaths. And walking your hands up towards you. If you were sitting one leg in front of the other or cross-legged, just take a moment to switch the cross of your legs and take another little forward fold, this time getting into the other side of the hip. Okay, and then when you're ready, walking the hands back up towards you. Settle back into your comfortable seat. And again, returning to either the lower of the gaze towards the ground or eyes closed if that's comfortable for you. Just take a few moments here before we get up and go back on with our day to come back to that deeper breath that you found at the beginning of the practice, and to recognize, acknowledge any changes that you can feel in your body now. So, do you have any sense now of more spaciousness in the body, maybe even in the mind? Any new sense of tingling or vibrations in the body? Any quality of aliveness, freshness? And just notice them and then let them go. And I'm going to say a few words. It's a poem by Susan Coolidge called New Every Morning. And so you can just listen and follow my voice. Every day is a new beginning. Listen, my soul, to the glad refrain, and spite of old sorrows and older sinning, troubles forecasted and possible pain, take heart with the day and begin again. Take heart with the day and begin again. Take a deep breath into whatever you feel and then let it go. Bring a slight curve of a smile to your lips. Just notice how that feels. And then slowly blinking your eyes open. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching and hope you have a beautiful day. Thanks, see you next time.